And every they point so no three back for more than 19 points, and you're just like, oh, please don't be the first, But
Yeah, and as
like,
as a damaged Mavs fan with PTSD from mainly 2006, but I wasn't really convinced they were going to win until midway through the fourth quarter. I kept, I mean, we were texting. Josh and I were texting last night, and he said, "Oh, well, okay." During Game 5, Game 4, when they lost, I was not able to go to sleep that night until like 1:30 in the morning. I didn't even try. I had so much adrenaline pumping because I was so hyped up about that game and wanted to treat it like, and I was treating it like a must win because you just got to kill people when you in the NBA in a 7 game series. You got to kill people when you have a chance, and then we didn't do that, and so I was stressed. midway through the fourth quarter when it finally became clear they were actually going to win. So,
well, and
I was okay with the blowout too, though, or Hodge.
Oh, no doubt. Because and what was interesting, I was watching it with some people, and they're like, "Well, it ain't over yet. It ain't over yet." Of course, my big deal was I thought Luka was in the ball game way too late in that fourth quarter.
When he took that fall, shoulder looked like it might have hit it. You know,
Hit him by Karl Anthony Towns. There's some dirty players on that other team. Don't just keep accidentally hitting people in the neck.
No, I agree. 4 minutes, I think, left in the fourth, and I was just, man, that you can't win in the finals if he's not playing, and to be at the end of a blowout, it just seemed like.
And you really can't with him. I mean, he's already not 100% because he's still battling from the injury and the strain, and he's. I mean, That's the other thing. You look at a guy like Ant-Man and this specimen of an athlete, and then you look at Luka and you're like, there's a real good chance he's coming over to be your handyman. Oh no, he's going to go for 36 points and lead in with triple doubles and assists and rebounds, all those things, and is playing unbelievable. But you're exactly right. If he's already not 100%. If you knock him down even 70 or less,
Celtics are than the Mavericks. That's what I kept hearing last night. Problem it's going to be to deal with those great defenders. JP coming back. Well, I believe that. And that should be the best record in the league. But the pressures, I think, sets up perfectly.
No, I guess it always Like you can obviously look at the run through the playoffs last year where they undefeated on the road, and that's substantial because it usually you don't think that that's the way that it's going to play out. But it's good to play at home. Obviously, you have your routine down and all the things that go with that. You want to bring that excitement to your home fans. It's always that was the one disappointment I guess I really did have in the Game 4 loss was it was at Dallas, and I just always feel like it's what you would like to have a presentation and all of that home court and be in front of the home and getting your job done. You can't look at it as a mountable task, obviously, because it's not. They've shown that they can win on the road. They like Ben said, they won with the not having home field or home court, excuse me, for the entirety of. And then you just really have to, as they say, play the game that's there.
Well, I'm interested to see how you guys. Very young guy, looks like he might still have a meal plan at the college he attended. Who's going to make who can make the impact most at that position heading into
the apology because I thought he was a horrible coach until I guess around the trade deadline when he got the players that he's got right now, which I guess makes me question a little bit: is he as good of a coach as I think he is now, or is it the players? But I think Jason Kidd is a coach that was built for the playoffs. He was built for 7-game series and playing the same opponent multiple games in a row, having the ability to make that team. And if I'm right about that, then I think that's where the advantage is really going to come in, especially with Jason Kidd having been a player, been to the finals. He won the one finals, but he won the finals a couple of other times in his career, had a lot of deep playoff runs, was a part of making those adjustments, kind of the coach on the floor his entire career. So I think the coaching advantage, and I'll claim a little bit of ignorance. I don't really know that much about the Boston coach, but this guy's a Hall of Famer already. And
I think it's going to be interesting. We're going to talk about another player. We start talking about who needs a championship, and a guy that I've become a fan of that I wasn't a few teams ago, but definitely am now. And so that's our Lawrence Hall headline report. We'll talk more about the local baseball stuff that's happening. But when we come back, we'll have our first Bank and Trust Texas Ranger report. A streak ends, a streak continues, and one umpire finally called out. Well, he retires on
Mavs.
Have you enjoyed the Potosi Live? Amazing food, great drinks, live music, and to watch your favorite sporting event. The Potosi Live team will
crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Young, cold, refreshing, made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
When it comes to finding the right vehicle for you, there's no better place than Lawrence Hall in Abilene. For over 34 years, Lawrence Hall in Abilene has been the place to find the best from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. And that is still true today. Great products and great service, too. So the next time you need a new car, truck, or SUV, come see us or shop 24/7 at LawrenceHallAbileneOnline.com. Voted Abilene's best new car dealer for over 28 years by you, our customers.
Hello, Abilene and the Big Country. My name is John Keaty. I am a resident at Disability Resources Incorporated. I'm here to tell you about our document destruction and paper shredding business. Our services include routine pickups, purges, or we accept drop-offs at our state-of-the-art, safe, and secure facility. We are the DRI Shredders, and we are here to assist and serve you in the destruction of your most private documents or any of those annoying boxes that have stacked up over the years. Give us a call at 325-232-6918. Come on out and see us at 3602 North Clack Street. You'll be glad you did.
Hi, I'm Sharon Riley. Here in Abilene, folks have lots of options for eating out, from large chains to locally owned mom and pops like us. I want you to know we really appreciate your business and are always striving for wonderful food, service, and prices. So we listened to you and have updated our menu, bringing back old favorites like nachos and fajitas and adding more small plates for the light appetites. So come see us. I want to hear you say, yum, yum.
Our community. It's where we live. It's where we work. And as your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we know our community isn't just important, it's everything. Which is why we're grateful for your trust to provide the energy you need every day. Because for us, there's nothing more important than giving you the power to power on.
You are the most important part of Big Country Electric Cooperative. Call, stop by our offices in Roby, Snyder, and Stamford, or visit online at bigcountry.coop.
The time has changed and it's time to hit the range at Mulligan Sports Bar, Grill, and Golf. Come relax on the patio, hit golf balls on the driving range, play 18 holes, and go enjoy a delicious meal of cold drinks with friends. Head to 1166 Ben Ritchie Drive, Mulligan Sports Bar, Grill, and Golf. You'll be glad you did.
At First Bank and Trust, our story started in 1996 and it continues because of you, our customers, our communities, and our neighbors. We are proud to be a small part of your success. But where does your story start? Where do you want to go? Whether starting a business, saving the future, or launching your idea, take steps towards something big. Call or email one of our bankers today. At First Bank and Trust, we see potential, ideas, innovation, growth everywhere.
Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4. Bases loaded. The Hodge Pack, always clearing the bases. Right here on 106.9, The Country Giant.
We are clearing the bases. We've got a lot of baseball going on across the Big Country, across the state, and, of course, in Major League Baseball. We're glad that you're with us here on the Hodge Pack on 106.9, The Country Giant. We'll talk more at the bottom of the hour about, just big country things going on and folks that are doing well and all that. But it is time for our First Bank and Trust Texas Ranger Report. We mentioned streaks. There was a couple of streaks that started. One streak ended. Josh, one of the big things is, and we'll talk more about the umpire a little bit later, but the Texas Rangers now 27-29. They are a couple of games still back behind the Seattle Mariners. Had the World Series rematch that came to town. And so the Rangers kind of on a 3-game winning streak heading out to, unfortunately, or however you want to look at it, heading out to Miami, which is very similar to what happened when they headed out to Colorado to play not a very good team. And then they'll come back for six home games there. But kind of where the Rangers are. And, of course, the big news was that Marcus Semion's big whopping 349-game streak came to an end.
Yeah, that was interesting development. When I saw that he wasn't in the lineup earlier this week, but that was notable because he's always in the lineup and apparently dealing with practice all of that, just to take full advantage of the 2 days off, and hopefully that gets him going back in the right direction. He has not hit well since having that, and the way if you saw that play, the way he landed kind of on his face as he went over Garcia, who took his legs out. They said he had some neck pain, which it looked like, I don't know that I would have gotten up after landing like that. So hopefully that gets him going back in the right direction. But speaking of going in the right direction, the Rangers have won 3 games in a row. Corey Seager has hit 8 home runs in the last 8 games, and we talked about before how he had got off to a slow start, and I kept saying to stride, and Wyatt Langford came back off the disabled list and has looked better at the plate. It has had a couple of hits, drove in a run, scored a run in his second game back, and and he's hit the ball very hard. Had several 100-mile-per-hour plus balls that were hit. So those things are in the right direction. Evaldi came back and had a very short start because he didn't do a rehab. So he just went straight into basically did his rehab start on the major league mound and came out okay. Things are looking. They are 3 games behind the Mariners. The Mariners did lose yesterday. When the fill out as people come back from the disabled list. The other recent injury news was cleared to bat, and he started.
Greeny, and they were talking about got your number that we did a lot of stuff with, and they're all. I mean, Jumbo is this big stat nerd guy. I mean, rattles them off and all that. And so they always have a trivia that they were talking about the 300 strikeout in the last, since 19. I can't remember what the time frame was, but have thrown 300 strikeouts in a season, and there was 5 of them, and they were having a hard time. Not having a hard time. They had them narrowed down on who they wanted to guess as their 5, and it was Kershaw, Verlander, Sale, and I can't remember the other 2. But I say all that is that in baseball, there's so many stats and so many records that are going to be solidified by Hodge, because they were talking about, as we do, as you see today, like yesterday was 7 innings, but the complete game is no longer even an option, it seems like, anymore. You're going to pitch 6 innings. If you get to 7, it's maybe because your pitch count was so low that you got to 7.
Mm-hmm.
But just talking about these records and these things that aren't going to get touched, we make a big deal. When I say it, I don't think it was such a big deal. I think it's because it's Marcus Semien, and he's a great player on the World Series team. But when they say, his iron streak ends at 349 games, you look back on what Al Ripken did, breaking Lou Gehrig's record and then continuing on until he finally took his day off. record ever being touched. One, they don't play enough, but B, it's more of a passing league. But the other thing is, running back is not going anywhere. I mean, that running back is 4 years and maybe 5 or 6, and then be a backup somewhere like we're seeing with Zeke and all these other people. So I think it's interesting the records that we thought were fun to chase. 300 wins, probably those aren't happening again. I mean, we can look that up in a break or look it up now. Do we have any guys that are close to 300 wins?
Well, I'll have to look it up.
300 wins used to be a big deal.
Oh, yes. I mean, well, that used to be your.
That was
like,
the Mendoza.
That was like
the line.
300 wins, and people below that. There was always the questions. I'll look that up. Flow reference, but Max Scherzer is the other 300 strikeout guy that's still.
Yes, it was Scherzer,
Verlander, I'll say.
Justin Verlander has 260 wins.
Yeah, so yeah,
he's the current leader, and so he'll need to get 40 more.
And he's 41 years old. So that
seems unlikely.
It does seem unlikely.
He could use a little bit of steroids. That would keep him going a little bit longer, and he might be able to get there.
But you're right. Just the game has changed where pitchers don't pitch enough innings to log 300 strikeouts. 300. Because the amount of innings that they log, games change. It's just different. Wins kind of the same way. People, the hook is faster, so you're going to get less wins. There's Nolan Ryan, obviously 324 career wins, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but a lot of those wins were 2-1, 3-2 type things that his team didn't score that run to go into the lead.
Verse side of this, in the NBA, guys, think of the 1980s. Who was the best 3-point shooter in the NBA? When he started, but that's 649. Compare that to
what is Steph Curry?
He has 3,390. So
I don't know how that changed. And one of the things, the stats of the 7-0 hitters in Nolan Ryan. What people also don't forget is how many he had. It's kind of like Jack Nicklaus. He won 8 majors. How many finished in second?
Right.
And could have won 20, 25. And you look at what did at 12-1 hitters. And so I say all that because I just think it's interesting how 349 games, we make it a headline, and 10, 15 years ago, it would not have even made the back page of the sports page.
If you weren't into the thousands, which Cal Ripken set the record, went into the 2,100. I can't remember.
Well, he ended with 2,600.
2,600, yeah. Which was the all-time record, and by far, I do agree it won't be passed because now it's all about the management, the scheduled day off. Even guys that maybe have that ability are not going a whole year without taking that day off.
And if the question I would like to ask, if we had a chance to ask Cal Ripken, if you were playing in 2023 or 2024, would you still have the mindset and the desire to go beat that record like you did when you did it in whatever?
And I guess not going to get because you're not going to go young, healthy, and everything's going well, and you start playing every day, and you never come out of the lineup, and that's just what's expected of you at that time. Where you did not come out, you were clearly injured. Get benched, so like that has changed. So you're never going to know if that Iron Man could be there, the guy that has the ability to do it, but they're never going to get the chance. It's just not going to happen. So you could say that at what point, and I don't know what number that you could look up things that have been written, interviews that Cal Ripken has done. I don't know at what point, how many games in before someone was like, hey, like you've played X amount of games without ever having, a day off, like, oh, well, that's a big number. I wonder, like, let's keep this going. At some point, it became a thing. I don't know what day that was, but after that point, it became, I'm going to play, even if I am a little dinged up, because I'm keeping this record going.
Right. And so anyway, of course, the other news was Angel Hernandez, the umpire that has been notoriously bad,
terrible,
retired.
The first blind, legally blind umpire. Yeah, the first legally blind official in e-sport.
And he is now retired and done. And so anyway, that is our first Bank and Trust Texas Ranger report. The Rangers will head out to South Beach, just like LeBron did a few years ago. But when we come back, we'll have more Hodge Pack right after this.
Black Plumbing and Air is local for the Stanford and Haskell.
Potosi Live on Facebook for their upcoming live music and ticket events. Head out to Potosi at 897 FM 1750 for the Potosi Live experience.
Miller Lite is the light beer brewed for people who love the taste of beer. For those who are always the first to volunteer for beer runs, who hit up tailgates for sports that they don't even like, and believe having a beer fridge in the garage is non-negotiable. It's a 96-calorie, 3.2 carb love letter to beer lovers who know that the best part of beer is the beer part. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin beer.
When it comes to finding the right vehicle for you, there's no better place than Lawrence Hall in Abilene. For over 34 years, Lawrence Hall in Abilene has been the place to find the best from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. And that is still true today. Great products and great service too. So the next time you need a new car, truck, or SUV, come see us or shop 24/7 at LawrenceHallAbileneOnline.com. Voted Abilene's best new car dealer for over 28 years by you, our customers.
Hi, I'm Sharon Riley. Here in Abilene, folks have lots of options for eating out, from large chains to locally owned mom and pops like us.
Our offices or visit online at bigcountry.org.
Hello, Big Country. My name is John Key. I am a resident at Disability Resources Incorporated. I'm here to tell you about our document destruction and paper shredding business. Our services include routine pickups, purges, or we accept drop-offs at our state-of-the-art, safe, and secure facility. We are the DRI Shredders, and we are here to assist and serve you in the destruction of your most prized
page of Google might not be the best for everyone, but for business owners.
Hey, come on out and see us at 3602 North Platte Street. We'll be glad you did.
Welcome back to the Hodge Pack Sports Live and everything in between, rocking and rolling right here on 106.9 The Country Channel. You're with us. A couple things I want to touch on again for our Big Country My Town segment. We have got some teams that seasons came to an end. The Hermley Lady Cardinals lose at the state tournament to Netchess 7-2, and the Coahoma Lady Bulldogs win the 3A softball state championship. Great games, both extra inning games in the semifinals against Plattsboro, and then they beat the Grandview Zebras yesterday, winning a state championship. So congratulations to Coahoma. And then the Holly Bearcats win yesterday 2-0 over New Home. Weston Balk, if you remember, he had the big day where he faced 21 batters, struck them all out. Yesterday he threw a 113 complete game, 2-0 shutout. And so the Holly Bearcats take on one game from moving to the state tournament. So congratulations to them, and shout out to Big Country Electric. And if they're anything like our guys, outages, storms have been tough, really been hit. The state of Texas has been hit. Valley View and back in the Dallas area. I know a lot of folks have been without power a few days. And so just shout out to the linemen. People understand they are working their tails off to try to get your power back on.
My power went out last night at about midnight. And thank you, Taylor Electric, for getting it back on in like 20 minutes. I'm very impressed.
Well, damage, and it takes build and refine and reset poles and all things. But
yeah, we had a moment last night where that thunderstorm that went through about the time the Mavs started, some lot, a lot of strong winds, so that was good. Got some rain, but at the point we had a fairly close lightning, and all of that. Went off, came right back on, just a flicker. Internet took a while, and TV is 100% internet. So I was the time that it came back. I had to reset the router and all of that,
right.
But I was like, if you want to get angry, not be able to watch the Mavs game because my internet went out.
Well,
but,
it
didn't.
And I'll say this, and of course, that want to share is trust me. Our guys want to get it back on as fast as possible.
I know.
Back on. I always crack up when somebody.
One time when I come up here, we should do a segment about how the switch from cabled TV to has made TV altogether worse.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's just one aspect, that your internet goes a whole lot more than your cable. About that time I got.
Well, that. Thank you. He had heart issues, so he played 25 games. That's all he played. And even if he did not go to the NBA, he's going to come back and enter the portal. Is he making the right call and striking while the iron's hot, if you will?
I think he teams is one his potential, and if he plays another full season and averages similar numbers or substantially or anything like that, then takes away a little bit of the argument about potential. And then more importantly, so I said his biggest asset is potential. No, his biggest asset really is that his dad is still in the NBA and is still a player and will be a free agent. And so this gives the opportunity for a team to draft him. And then that gives LeBron full information and the team that drafts him the full ability to recruit LeBron to try to get him for the last couple of years of the season to come play with his son, which is something that LeBron's been talking about since Bronny was like 12 years old. And so I think he will definitely be drafted because of who he is, because he could be a serviceable, he's not going to be a star, but he could be a serviceable bench player, role player. And the possibility that, and I could very much see if he falls late enough, I could 100% see for the marketing aspect of it, someone like Mark, I think he's still involved in these decisions. I could totally see him drafting Bronny simply for the ability to try to recruit LeBron and try to have that marketing pull.
Oh, it would be and that's the thing. It's really a no lose situation, depending on how late you can draft him. That it will sell tickets, it will sell like eyes, So from that side, especially when you talk about NBA draft, where you don't really expect to get much first couple. So there's that possibility, and I generally now there are times that the money decision be you have the ability to go. You know, if you talk to those people, if you have a plan, if they tell you like, all right, we see you going at this kind of place in the draft, your signing bonus should be in here, you can make that decision and go. I generally think that if that is any sort of close to where you think your potential is, I would go ahead and go pro. only possibly a slight out, but I don't know.
I think
that,
there's a better chance that LeBron's legacy, he can as a role player. J.J. Redick is a guy in the NBA, the NBA world, who's really hot right now. Talked about a potential head coach, but he's also got his podcast, his own podcast with LeBron. But he's a guy that had a fantastic NBA career. But I guess no, I don't really think there's any way you call him anything more than a role player. I mean, he was really good at his role, but he was a role player, and he was on a lot of teams for throughout his career. He's on the top 20 list of all I saw when I was looking at that list earlier. But so in the NBA, you can have a career, and in team sports in general, you can. But this is why I wanted to talk about this. I think it just got me thinking about how in the individual sports like golf and tennis, it is all on you. If you're going to be a great player and have what people consider a great career, I mean, it's all, the pressure's all on you, because nobody's going to hit a single shot for Charlie Woods in his entire career. Whereas in the NBA,
you can pawn that off to
someone
somebody else.
You can pass that ball and someone else can hit that game winner and you can be a champion. But Charlie Woods, you're not going to win any tournaments unless you win them yourself.
No, I see exactly what you're saying, and I agree that there's no hiding. There's no just like finding what you're good at and sticking to that. And if like you mentioned J.J. Redick, just that you think about with the Bulls teams back in the day with like Steve Kerr, a Paxton, guys that can just kind of be in the right place at the right time, help their team win, and they get rings, and you can't do that.
Robert Horry, 9 rings.
Yeah, Robert Horry just, it seemed like he was the missing piece for every team that he went to, and never a star on any of them. But you're right, you can't do that in golf. But I have a hard time with just, like I said, I know that there's pressure and there's you don't just want to constantly be just in your dad's shadow type of thing, so there is motivation to get away from that. Think about, yes, I mean, and there's
Austin Rivers, Tim Brunson.
Well, yes. I mean, there's several, but percentage-wise, you think obviously there's genetics that are involved in all of this, and you've got people that the pool of people that are out there that have played professional sport, all of them have a kid. Not all of them, obviously, but all
Everything in between with Josh, Misty, and Hodge. It's time for Hour 2.
If you go back to
Not like my brother. It was definitely
it's all
held
Jared's
against me.
fault. He's not bitter about it. If you're LeBron James, way make the team, like it. There aren't more, just because you will be given every opportunity when you finish high school.
It's all about the pedigree.
And the other guy's dad was not. I think they're pretty close, like.
For over 34 years, Lawrence Hall in Abilene has been the place to find the best from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. And that is still true today. Great products and great service too. So the next time you need a new car, truck, or SUV, come see us or shop 24/7 at LawrenceHallAbileneOnline.com. Voted Abilene's best new car dealer for over 28 years by you, our customers.
Hi, I'm Sharon Riley. Here in Abilene, folks have lots of options for eating out, from large chains to locally owned mom and pops like us. I want you to know we really appreciate your business and are always striving for wonderful food, service, and prices. So we listened to you and have updated our menu, bringing back old favorites like nachos and fajitas and adding more small plates for the light appetites. So come see us. I want to hear you say, yum, yum.
Tammy, you crying? Crying? No crying anymore. Buying a home should make you cry. You deserve a mortgage expert who have your best interest at heart. Visit ColemanBank.com and let us help you make your next move. If you are looking for a mortgage team in a league of their own,
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
This is Tuesday at 2 happy hour. And of course, we got aboard the largest car at 5 at 5. Your music down.
Sports dates, life, and everything. Fire you up for the day. Hodge Pack.
Welcome back to Hodge Pack, Sports Life and everything between. We are in our brought to you by Coleman County State. You head over to ColemanBank.com. Needs. I do want to shout out, again, don't forget Mulligan's bachelor tickets. That gap. Let's go to who must win a championship. Who are the people that you feel like
wins that one, and it completely changes the narrative about everything. So, who do y'all think's in that position right now?
Well, so like here, said who needs to got a lot of Dax. Thought this was interesting, and of course, Dak is these. Kyle Shanahan from Matt.
Year after year on what was a really bad stretch for the Cowboys overall. Didn't have a whole lot of protection on the offensive line and all those things that went with it. Romo is thought of much differently, and maybe it's not even a Super Bowl, maybe just a couple deep playoff runs. But it didn't happen.
Maybe, yeah.
But and then
I think the fact that he didn't even have the deep playoff runs really cements it. But I feel like if he would have lost in the, we talk about how the Cowboys haven't made the NFC Championship game in 30 whatever years.
Yeah.
Even if he lost in the NFC Championship 3 times, I still don't think that he wouldn't be on in anyone's mind on Troy or Roger.
Oh no, because that takes multiple championships to be on that level. And so, I think
I think with his career stats, if he'd gotten one, we might put him on the mountain with them, but they wouldn't have been.
But I don't disagree with that at all but I think if you juxtapose that to Eli Manning, contemporaries as far as like on the field, I don't know that they're in homerism being what it is. I don't know if you take both of them at their prime. I would have taken Romo over Manning
100%.
But Manning won 2 Super Bowls. So it changes the overall.
If you could give me the Eli Manning that played in those 2 Super Bowls and give me
consistently
that for 16 games plus the playoffs, okay, I'll take that. But he was not that. Other than the 8 games of those 2 playoff runs, Eli Manning was not that.
And that's the other. You throw out a guy like Eli Manning. Is he a Hall of Famer?
And there is an argument that he is because of those 2 Super Bowl runs.
Well,
I don't think he really ought to be, but we can talk about it because
Kurt Warner is a Super Bowl champion, got to the Cardinals to the Super Bowl, and is a bad interception away or a great play from Santonio Holmes in the corner of the end zone from having 2 Super Bowls. He was the greatest.
He was
show
an
on turf.
MVP, so that when you combine the MVP and Super Bowl champion, it's almost like an automatic Hall of Fame bid in the NFL. But
now, I think we're running out of time. I really do want to say this. I think maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment, but I think who will go from. He's already great. He's got 5 teams, first teams in a row. But he didn't win that MVP, even though he had an MVP caliber season. So to go in the mind of everyone from good to great, whichever one of these guys, Tatum or Luka, whichever one wins is going to enshrine them as the greatest player, the greatest. currently got it because he
Yeah.
just won. So they're going to be whoever wins is going to be considered the current greatest player in the league.
Well, and I just want to. Been able to do like LeBron goes to Cleveland. Wins. Reminds me of the do that
They
this
need
week.
it the most, but as a Mavs, they need it the most, so they
but
the great ones lose a bunch of times. Sometimes they just win.
Right.
Real quick.
I think that Shanahan has to be high on the list as far as like where the pressure is at. The one, because he's like, like the Bills won 4 AFC championships and lost 4 Super Bowls. And that quickly became the Bills can't win the big one. That helped the Cowboys a little bit. And I mean, obviously the Cowboys were good. The Cowboys were the better team. But once stigma stays with you for Jim Kelly made the Hall of Fame and all of those things. But so I guess Jim Kelly kind of overcame that couldn't win the big one kind of moniker. But
I mean, you can make the Hall of Fame. Certainly have a Hall of Fame career. They're gonna respect, like Charles Barkley. He never got Charles Barkley.
Well, Dan Marino.
Well, but you're talking about that truly have on the field success and that are undeniable. But would you? Have
I don't really think about. For whatever reason, I don't think about coaches. Fire.
Andy Reid had that until Andy Reid had that same. His legacy was couldn't win the big game, and then he went to. Things got stuck for a second. And still kind of had that monkey on his back until they got it done, and then all the. And I think the NFL is probably where that is the most. The NBA is right there with it, but for whatever reason, it takes a big step back. Like if you think about Major League Baseball, you don't like. Obviously, people want to win championships, and there's that helps cement you as all-time greats, having those October moments there. That Derek Jeter, the Reggie Jackson, the Corey Seager. Now that he's won 2 World Series MVPs, that changes your career. But you don't seem to get as dinged as much if you never.
But they are saying he just can't figure
think it's because that really takes a handful of blame every year that the Cowboys don't win. No one is at the end of the year being like, you. But I think that he's always lived under the pressure of he didn't get credit for those teams. It was Jimmy Johnson that got the credit for the team. I think that he would cherish the notion of winning one without touching it. You know,
right. And I think that's where KD falls if he ever goes anywhere, because everybody thought he was going to be a Booker and the Suns were going to make this big run because they were so close a couple years ago, and now we've added KD and it did.
He when he does win one, it's going to be him. No,
you're exactly
be a role player, but you won't say he's the one that got that.
Right. Well, there's a lot of people.
Hello, Abilene in the big John. I'm here to tell you about document destruction and paper shredding business. Our services include routine pickups, purges, or we accept drop-offs at our state-of-the-art, safe, and secure facility. We are the DRI Shredders, and we are here to assist and serve you in the destruction of your most private documents or any of those annoying boxes that have stacked up for years. Give us a call at 325-232-6918. Come on out and see us at 3602 North Clack Street. You'll be glad you did.
What is it that makes you powerful? It's not voice, but knowing that it's heard loud and clear. We understand knowledge can change your life, and that energy will continue to power it. And because you're part of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we're always listening. Because you're more than just a customer. You're a member. And what's more powerful than that?
You are the most Electric Cooperative. Call, stop by our offices in Roby, Snyder, and Stamford, or visit online at bigcountry.coop.
Have you enjoyed the Potosi Live experience yet? If not, one of the best. You have an experience that you're going to tell your friend about. Check out PotosiLive.com or go like them at Potosi Live on Facebook for their upcoming live music and ticket events. Head out to Potosi at 897 FM 1750 for the Potosi Live experience. That's a deal.
Car, truck, or SUV. Come see it or shop 24/7 at LawrenceHallAbileneOnline.com. Voted Abilene's best new car dealer for over 28 years by you, our customers.
At the Burke Law Firm, we represent injured people and their families. We want you to know that we've actually tried personal injury cases to jury verdicts. When you find yourself in need of a personal injury attorney, make sure to ask your self-described personal injury trial lawyer if they've ever even tried a personal injury case to a favorable jury verdict. Then, if you'd like a sincere opinion on your personal injury case, call me, Trace Burke, at 677-4777.
Tammy, are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in mortgages. Buying a home should not make you cry. You deserve a team of mortgage experts who have your best interest at heart. Visit ColemanBank.com and let us help you make your next move. If you are looking for a mortgage team in a league of their own, Coleman County State Bank is the place for you.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. The time has changed and it's time to hit the range at Mulligan Sports Bar, Grill, and Golf. Come relax on the patio, hit golf balls on the driving range, play 8 and go enjoy a delicious meal of cold drinks with friends. Head to 1166 Ben Ritchie Drive, Mulligan Sports Bar, Grill, and Golf. You'll be glad you did.
Pest Patrol. Pest Patrol. Big bright yellow truck coming to your door. Call Pest Patrol.
I'm Weldon Hurt, and we're protecting families just like yours with pest problems. For pest issues, let our family help yours. For service or questions, call or text at 325-673-6700.
The big bright yellow coming.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Biscuits, gravy, bacon are as amazing to the lips.
Well, rolling here. Hodge, Josh, and Brent joining us this morning, talking everything from NBA to who signs have an issue. We have some things going on in the mall, which is getting repaired and done and all those things. So we're glad that you're with us. Again, Brent was asking, June 13th, it will be Della Rose and Caleb Sutton at Potosi Live, helping to raise money for the folks of Hodges and Holly, trying to from the storm and the tornado that happened on May 2nd. So be sure to go check that out. There'll be obviously great food, great entertainment. Della Rose and Caleb Sutton always put on a great show, and so go check that out. June 13th, which is crazy to think. I was thought about this morning. You know, May 31st is the day, which means June starts. We're already almost halfway through 2024. To me, it just kind of blows my mind. But they always say it goes faster or something like that. I don't know what they say, but something like that. But in that opportunity
as
for
you get older, you can't remember what they say.
That is true. That's actually pretty awesome.
Time goes faster because you
It is, and that's going to be sure. That is not knowing half the battle. But Josh, what do we got today?
Good segment. It's over. Now you know. That's news. Be the death of everybody or not, but I guess AI and analytics, right? In sports, you hear more and more about analytics, and I'm not sure.
about our destruction and paper shredding business. Our services include routine pickups, purges, or we accept drop-offs at our state-of-the-art, safe, and secure facility. We are the DRI Shredders, and we are here to assist and serve you in the destruction of your most private documents or any of those annoying boxes that have stacked up over the years. Give us a call at 325-232-6918. Come on out and see us at 3602 North Clack Street. You'll be glad you did.
At First Bank and Trust, our story started in 1996 and it continues because of you, our customers, our communities, and our neighbors. We are proud to be a small part of your success. But where does your story start? Where do you want to go? Whether starting a business, saving for the future, or launching your ideas to the next level, we want to help you take your first steps towards something big. Call or email one of our bankers today. At First Bank and Trust, we see potential, ideas, innovation, growth everywhere.
Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
From eco-friendly thermostats to energy-efficient lighting systems for your business, technology is making everything smarter. Good thing your Touchstone Energy Cooperative can help you make smarter work harder. Today, there are more ways than ever to make your world more energy.
Ben Ritchie Drive, Mulligan Sports Bar, Grill, and Golf. You'll be glad you did.
Front row or cheap seats, the best place to be is logged in to KLGD1069.com, listening to the best sports radio show in the big country, the Hodge Pack, bringing the action to you.
We are bringing the action to you, getting ready to head into the weekend. Hope everybody has great plans and a good time for as June kicks off. But we are getting ready to wrap up. And we were talking a little bit about knowing's half the battle and how things have changed from analytics and stats. And we were talking about how, one of the things that has changed is if you were to go back and go watch older games or whatever. Now, the irony is if you went back and watched the NFL, you would see the amazing hits that everybody wanted to watch, and Sports Illustrated would create a video that you would get if you got
when you ordered
a subscription and all.
team have to play on the N64.
That was a big deal.
But then, and honestly, I would still do it. I like playing those football games and the Call of Duty and stuff like that. Those first-person shooter games I've always thought were fun. I just don't have time anymore.
Right.
Like, that's really cool.
It's something that, and again, I wonder if they're going to be too high tech as opposed to going and putting in blow side of my Nintendo and play RBI baseball.
Well, let me answer your first question, and then I'll go into what you're talking about. First of all, no, I have the only game I have ever been obsessed with, enjoyed actively playing, was the original Super Mario Brothers on the original Nintendo.
Oh, 100%.
Which I beat, and once I beat that, I considered myself, I had accomplished everything I needed to accomplish in the gaming world, and I pretty much retired. Now, no, and after that, I've gotten into it. And we played. Enjoyed that, but I've always felt like and I'm not. Don't get me wrong. Too big for video games,
right?
And now, to answer your question on with kids, I think, and this gets a little bit into, I think I'm going to have to make a sacrifice as a father and like get a PS5. Actually, I know I am. I was getting him to play right. Let him RS and then beat him after that. I screwed up and missed a really close shot, so he beat me, so I got it. He had to play. I do think that we're trying to man here that thinks the video that deprive my kids, I think has no benefit, because there really is benefit. There's benefit to video games, and just like it is, I mean, it's a skill to work at and get good at, and it's a skill that kids.
If you got kids and I was that little group I'm helping coach basketball, they were talking about this one kid plays Fortnite all night. If you don't get sleep and you do another thing, that's a problem. But I'm literally thinking about, but is it going to be so high tech? Can Hodge play?
That was the other problem. That's the other reason I got gaming, because when we went from Super Nintendo to N64 happened, and we went from going sideways across the screen, 2D, to 3D. We're going forward into the screen. It got way too complicated for me as a
because I can see your boys enjoying college sports. That'll be a joke.
Absolutely love to have. We got one of those straight from China fake Nintendo things that has like 500 games on them. Of that, 490 of them I'd never heard of. But RBI Baseball was one of them. So we played a little RBI Baseball, which I really liked as a kid. Now, the development of it, and I remember going back to my youth, playing Tecmo Bowl, RBI Baseball. We would, my senior year in high school, we got to school at 1:30. I had to be back at 3:30 for practice. You know, so you had that 2 gap. My house, my parents still live there, is right around we would have 10, 12, 15 guys golf for 2 hours and go back to school. You know,
So
it was a social event.
What I have learned, kids, particularly sons and juniors, that's going on. Caveat that they're doing this every day, playing with their friends every day, but they're not playing together. They're not in the house together. They're just everybody. That's what they do. Is that they go home for school, they get on whatever they come against their friends from school, and so
it's
as
a
part
different
of the thing. My friend Yancey was telling me, like, he's like, you've got to get your kid into this because otherwise he's not going to be able to relate to his friends, his in-person friends at school
when they talk about the new game.
Separately,
well, and
separately from their own.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm excited about it coming back out. You're going to have the names on the jerseys like you would playing Madden because of the NFL situation. But it'll be interesting to see when that thing comes out on July 19th, how big of a rush it is. Like it came out in August or whatever.
No, and I'm sure it will be, and I'm sure we will get a game system, and I'll have to figure this out. But as I was talking about, as it went from RBI baseball on the Nintendo to Ken Griffey Jr. baseball on the Super Nintendo, and then as you advance into the other games that they came, especially when you got the PlayStation and Xbox, it started getting so hard that it was like legitimately hard to do. I don't know if I could pick it up and do it now. And you know, all the buttons and all that stuff, they just got more and more and more and more and more and more. So there would be a learning curve. I do expect that at some point we'll venture into that because my boys will like to play sports games. They already have this MLB 9 game on the iPad that I like it. I've right. played it a little bit, but I don't know. It's one of those things like everything else. If you do it in moderation, there's nothing wrong with it. If it becomes an addiction, and that's the part that you get into it, the one that just disappears right. to play video games, and you're like, no, let's like.
Will I ever get Fletcher to come back out to the basketball goal with me ever again?
That's the thing that I'm worried about. Like, instead of going to play baseball or going to play basketball, let's just play the show. Let's play NBA 2K, whatever it is right. now. So
instead of getting good at the guitar, they get good at Guitar Hero.
There you go. And there's a chance that you can go be an EA scholarship guy and go big. Brent, Josh, appreciate it. Everybody have a great weekend.
Mavs in 6.
There you go. We'll be back next week.
KLJ Stanford. The country